What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at some of the link skills and talking about which ones are the absolute best ones to link to level up to link level 10. Because as we know, with the new link leveling system, there are a lot of links that have very vastly different effects from level 1 to level 10. Some links don't really give you that much. For example, if you check this out, we're only getting like a 10% increase on the type of stats that it already gives you. So you're just getting like a little bit of extra percentage. So that's not going to be valued as highly as something like this, where you're actually getting an entire extra key, and then you're also getting attack and defense that you just weren't getting at all before, right? So I have taken the liberty of going through all of the link skills and looking at what the best ones are. So it's worth mentioning here that I didn't necessarily just factor in the link itself and how good it gets once it levels up, but I also factored in what the link was and which characters have that link, because there are a few different links in the game that do get really, really good buffs at level 10 and that are drastically different from what they are at level 1. But they're really, really garbage link because there's very few characters that have that link, right? Or the characters that do have it are just not very good or usable. So I didn't think it was necessary to say that those are links that you would necessarily want to level up, because the characters that have them aren't even worth running, right? So we are going to do this in sort of a top 10 format here. So starting out, I'm going to start with 3 honorable mentions, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes, and we'll do the full top 10 here. So the first honorable mention that I want to talk about here is the loyalty link. So at level 1, you're only getting 1 key, and then at level 10, you're getting 2 key and 5% damage reduction. There are a few different links in here that have 5% damage reduction, which is just such a cool ability, right? Definitely something that's going to help sponge damage, considering at least 2 of the units on your rotation will have this if you have the link active, right? So that is very, very good. The reason it's only an honorable mention and not actually in the top 10 list is because of this. These are the only units in the game that actually have the loyalty link. But I did think it was worth mentioning in here just because there are some of the really strong Ginyu Force members that do have this link, and that is obviously one of the better teams in the game right now. So if you were to go with a full Ginyu Force setup, you could see this loyalty link active pretty often here. And then also the Amandan Raisin and Cacao and Diaz card that come out with the Dokkan Fest TIERLIST there. So 2 more really strong banner units that do have access to this link. So yeah, I suppose you could see this link active here and there, and it is a pretty formidable link at level 10. Alright, the next honorable mention we're going to talk about here is the Turtle School link skill. So at level 1, it's attack and defense 10%. And then at level 10, you're getting 2 key and attack and defense 20%. So that's a pretty sizable buff. That is definitely good. But again, it's only an honorable mention because there just aren't enough characters that have this link. The 2 LRs right here are pretty much the best units. Oh, and then, you have Yamcha and the STR Krillin too. There are a few pretty solid S tier characters here that do have it, and as it would happen as well, you're going to be using all these characters on the same team, right? These are Earthlings characters, these are Earthbred Fighters type characters that you're going to want to be using. A couple of them are Saiyan Saga here, right? Even maybe Kamehameha if you're going to use the Krillins in the Roshi and stuff. And then this Int Kid Goku that Easy 8 isn't that horrible either. So that's another unit that you could consider. So yeah, there you go. Decent honorable mention there, Turtle School link. And the last honorable mention that we have is the Transform link. So this is the link that they give to all of the cards with a giant transformation. So all the Great Apes and everything like that will have it. So we do have it's still a pretty small roster. There honestly aren't not that many cards with these transformations and stuff. But in recent times, we have gotten a few absolute behemoths that do have this link, right? Namely the Orange Piccolo in the Piccolo Junior Giant form. And then we also have the AGL Metal Cooler here. And then even the Hachiyak and Great Ape Vegeta here. These cards are not bad either. Oh, actually, this guy just got his EZA announced last night on on JP, or the details were released, and this guy's free-to-play EZA is actually pretty good. So, yeah, you can add that to the list of a decent character here who's got this link as well, right? So yeah, Transform, another honorable mention. Oh, I guess I forgot to go over. It's a 2 key, and then at level 10, you're getting an extra key there and 10% defense. So that is very good. Anytime you have, like, you're going to see a common theme here of anytime the link is at level 1 and it just doesn't even have an effect that it gets when it's at level 10 is like a huge bonus rather than just boosting the effect by a little bit, right? Okay, so coming in at number 10, the 10th best link that I think you should level up is, oh my goodness, sorry about that. My computer's being a little slow today. All in the Family here. So now this is worth noting. This is one of those exception links here where, you know, at level 1, it's already 15% defense, and you're only gaining an additional 5% defense at level 10. But the reason that I chose to add this on here is because All in the Family, having that 20% defense is so good, especially because this is a wider roster of characters, for sure. Like, as you can see here, there are a lot more characters. There's a ton of Goku's family stuff, which is, like, most of the strongest characters in the game, right? So there are quite a few very, very good units in here that do have this link, and is a super common link that you're going to see active all the time. So any of your characters that you actually do use that have All in the Family, it's very likely that you're going to be using them alongside other All in the Family characters. So yeah, this is a worthwhile link to make sure that you have leveled up. 20% defense is definitely nothing to scoff at. Okay, so coming in at number 9, we have Majin. So at level 1, it's attack and defense plus 10%, and then at level 10, you get 2 ki and 15% attack and defense. So that is a nice buff there. Obviously, the Majin link is just being given to any Majin cards, except for Dabura and Majin Vegeta, and Babidi. So I guess not all the Majin cards. It's pretty much just Boo and Oob. Now that I'm looking at it here. So, yeah, that's why it's low on the list. If there were more included, if Majin Vegeta was included on this list, and, you know, and like Dabura and Babidi and stuff, like literally every single Majin, and then if you even included like Yamu and Spopovich and stuff, then maybe I would bump this up on the list a little bit. Because of the limited roster of characters here, that's why it's so low. But, you know, when you're running, generally speaking, when you're running a Boo on the team, you're running a lot of Boos on the team. So it's likely that you'll see this link active, which is why I thought it was worth mentioning for sure. Especially because of this guy right here, the AGL LR Super Boo that came out. It's just like this unit single-handedly gives more reason for this link to be a thing, right? And it's also probably not long before this guy gets his EZA, and then this will be another really solid unit that will depend on that link, right? Oh yeah, and we also have the STR Super Boo that just got his EZA on Global here. So yeah, there's another really strong unit that's gonna be able to take advantage of this. Okay, so next up, I believe we're at what, 8? Yeah, 8th place, we've got Infinite Regeneration. So this at level 1 recovers 3% HP, and then at level 10, you're getting 2 ki, 3% HP recovery, and 10% defense. Pretty sizable increase there, and it is the exact same deal here. We are just dealing with a bunch of Boo cards. It's actually even a smaller roster of characters, but the boost that you end up getting from this is even more substantial, which is why I have it one spot above on the list. But pretty much everything I said about the previous link can be said about this one, right? Okay, so coming in at number 7, we have Tough as Nails. So this is another one of those links. So at level 1, we've got 15% defense, and then at level 10, you're getting 20% defense and 5% damage reduction. So that is really, really solid. Now, the reason why this one isn't like top 3 for links to level up is simply because of the roster of characters. It is a little bit rough here. Now, it's a little bit of a larger roster of characters, but as you can see, it's super sporadic. So this is one of those links where there are a lot of really strong defensive units that have it, which makes sense, right? Because if you think about the theming of, you know, the phrase tough as nails, they're going to put a lot of the tanky units, a lot of the units that are built buff, right? You know, Hachiak, Piccolo Jr., Android 16, Topo, Ader, right? All these big tanky dudes, Nappa. But a lot of them don't really fit on the same teams, so you're probably not going to see this link active that much. And you're definitely not going to see this link active that much. This is one of those links that I really, really wish that they would start giving to more characters, because this could be an absolute S tier link in the game, you know, if they decided to do that. You know, there are a lot of, like, other Piccolo cards and stuff that I would really hope, you know, at some point in the future would get, if they ever, like, added an 8th link to cards or something, that would get, you know, the Tough as Nails link here. So, yeah, I suppose it's possible. I'm trying to think of what team builds would actually exemplify, like, using this. Honestly, the main thing that comes to mind is the Piccolo Jr. Giant form, just because of his leader skill. The fact that he can lead Terrifying Conquerors, Gifted Warriors, and Giant, I feel like that's going to give you a lot of opportunity for some of these other characters. Because, like, a lot of the extreme type characters are on Terrifying Conquerors here that I'm looking around at, you know, that you could potentially link them up with. I suppose, like, an androids base team, you could probably see Tough as Nails a bit, because you've got, like, all the Android 16 cards. So, I mean, the individual Android 16s aren't that good. Obviously, the Strike card is really decent defensively. And then, you know, you've got these guys with their high chance to guard, so they can still be useful. And then, obviously, the Android 8s are pretty good. So, yeah, I suppose, like, putting androids up together could be decent. But yeah, Terrifying Conquerors is probably going to be the best way to get this link active here. Yeah, so unfortunately really isn't much you're going to see on the super side for that. I mean, I suppose you could do, like, the Goku and Piccolo with... You can't really link them up with the other Goku Piccolo because they have the exact same name. Oh, actually, he's on... You could do, like, Battle of Wits. There's a few different characters here that are on Battle of Wits that could maybe see the Tough as Nails link active there. Okay, I think that's enough on this one. If I had to pick a favorite link in the game, this is probably it. Actually, this is number 2. My favorite link is coming up. But, yeah, I just really like this link, and I wish that they would give it to more characters. Okay, so coming in at... Keep losing track here. Number... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6. My favorite link in the game, Saiyan Roar. So at level 1, it is attack 25%, and at level 10, it's attack 25% and defense 10%. Huge, huge stuff, because the Saiyan Roar is the monkey link, right? All of our Giant Ape cards and all of our Super Saiyan 4s, more importantly, are going to have the Saiyan Roar link. So I kind of view this as the super type big bad bosses, right? Very, very strong link. And yeah, I definitely think it is worth leveling up, especially because of how powerful the Super Saiyan 4's teams are right now, because of all of the strong buffs they keep giving us for the Super Saiyan 4 category. So yeah, oh, it's such a shame that the new 8th anniversary LR isn't on here, because of that stupid base form GT Goku there. He totally ruins it for us, right? If it was just the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, or even if it was like a transformation card that, like, started out as Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and transformed, or vice versa, then he would have Saiyan Roar. But because they're combined together, he doesn't get it. So that's such a such an L for that card, right? But there are plenty of other good Super Saiyan 4s and a few good giant transformation cards in here as well. That do have this link. So yeah, very, very good link. Definitely get that one leveled up. Okay, coming in at number 5, we have Android Assault. So at level 1, you're going to be getting 10% defense, and then at level 10, you're getting 2 key and 20% defense. So Android Assault, pretty simple. It's a bunch of the Android cards, right? It's pretty much all of the Android cards. I guess I can't... Oh, no, it's not all the Android cards, because there's no cells here. So yeah, it looks like it's all of the androids except Cell, because you even have, like, Mira on here. Yeah, and then you have all of, like 14 and 15. Obviously all the 17s and 18s are here. The 8ers are here. So just all of the numbered androids, and then you have even, like, 21, and then the Gammas as well. Yeah, so this is a very good link. Now we're starting to break into, like, the really, really impressive top tier stuff. You are certainly going to see use out of this link. Oh, and I suppose that's one other thing that I forgot to mention about Saiyan Roar, right? Is that you're always going to see it active. Any characters that you have the Saiyan Roar link on are definitely going to be used on teams with other Saiyan Roar characters. And it's the exact same thing here with Android Assault. Most of the time when you're running one android, you're running multiple. So yeah, I guess the one exception for that would maybe be like Android 8. It's very possible to run him on separate teams that don't, include other androids. But for the most part, you're gonna be seeing this link active, right? So very good link to level up, definitely. Okay, coming in at number 4, we have Thirst for Conquest. So at level 1, this is going to be attack 15%, and then at level 10, you're getting 15% defense as well. So Thirst for Conquest is strictly an extreme class link. There are no super type units here, but there are a ton of just terrifying conquerors. There's some movie bosses here. There's some wicked bloodline, all kinds of stuff like that, right? Space traveling warriors even. Yeah, I'm looking through here. There are quite a few villain teams. Basically, every single strong villain team in the game has multiple units with Thirst for Conquest on it. So this is another link that you are very, very commonly going to see active, and I don't think that is ever going to go away, because these are all, like I said, these are all the most popular villains. These are all cards that are going to continually get more and more units added to the game, and get buffs and EZAs and whatnot to all the units that are here. And for the most part, this is one of those really, really staple, consistent links for these enemies. That's why you're seeing so many here, because it's on literally like every single version of that card, right? Like every single metal cooler in the game has it. Every single Final Form cooler has it. Every single TIERLIST has it. Obviously, there might be like one or two exceptions. Maybe if there's like a special movie version of a character, or if there's like a Joined Forces version of a character or something. But for the most part, that is true. That like this is a really consistent link. You're going to be seeing all these characters. So, okay, coming in at number 3 here, we have GT. So at level 1, you're getting 2 key. And then at level 10 here, you're getting 2 key and then 10% attack and defense. This is a really, really strong link to level up, because it's going to be on every single GT character. All of them. Every single one's got it. It's definitely worth having, because again, kind of becoming a broken record here, but if you're running one GT character, it is super likely that you're running multiple others, so you're definitely going to have this link active. Yeah, a really, really easy link to get active for sure. So, definitely worth leveling up there. Okay, number 2, we have Metamorphosis. So at level 1, you get 5% HP recovery, and then at level 10, you're getting 5% HP recovery, and attack and defense 10%. So this is, again, a pretty much a villain link, right? It looks like there are a few super type characters here, but they're pretty irrelevant. Yeah, it's mostly the extreme class characters that we're focused on here. But again, same thing with, Terrifying Conquerors builds, or, actually, this one's even like Power Absorption a little bit, and then Wicked Bloodline, Transformation Boost, right? You're going to be seeing Metamorphosis active for most of the units on a lot of those good villain teams here, even like Corroded Body and Mind. So, yeah, this is a very, very good link to make sure that you have leveled up for sure. Especially because, another thing that's worth noting here about this link that's kind of interesting is because you get the HP recovery, this is something that oftentimes people will choose to prioritize over other links. So, like, okay, if I was on a rotation where, let's say I have, like, just for example, right? I have AGL Super Boo, and then I have, like, STR Final Form Cooler there, right? I probably wouldn't want to link them up together, typically, because they're not going to share that many links. So let's just assume that there's another cooler card who's not on Metamorphosis. I don't think there is, but let's just assume there is, right? So then, ideally, you'd want to link up this cooler with that cooler so that he could get the most amount of links active. But let's say we're low on HP. We're like 20% HP, and we have a few attacks coming in the very beginning of the rotation. Oftentimes, what I'll do is I'll actually force the healing by, pairing these units up together. to make sure that we can get the Metamorphosis link active so that you can get the healing. I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there that do that same thing as well. It's very, very common, especially on some of these villain teams that do have a lot of healing capabilities, that have units that are healing on super attack or healing in passive. Making sure to get that Metamorphosis link active is really important. So if you're one of those people that plays like I do, and you actually prioritize the Metamorphosis link, then it becomes even more important to level this up. Oh, actually, I just realized, I think I only said attack and defense. You're also getting HP attack and defense 10%. So that is really, really good, right? Oh, I am dumb. I'm just gonna facepalm myself. It's the recovery, the HP recovery, and then the attack and defense 10%. Duh. Okay, so yeah, so basically it's going to be even more important to get this link leveled up, because if you're forcing it to be active, then you're going to be seeing the extra 10% stats, active a lot. And if you're choosing to link up characters that don't link that well, just so that you can have Metamorphosis active, it's very important to make sure you get the extra stats off from it. That was very long-winded. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, so then, drumroll please, coming in at number 1, the best link in the game that you absolutely must 100% of the time get leveled up on every single character you're going to use that has it, no matter what, no exceptions, no excuses, is Big Bad Bosses. This is hands down the best link in the game. I don't know what they were thinking when they created the link level system and they did this to this link. This used to be a very balanced link. Big Bad Bosses here. At level 1, it's attack and defense 25% when HP is 80% or less. As you level it up, the HP restriction gets easier and easier to obtain, until at level 10, it is just a free attack and defense 25%. Hands down, you get it all the time. That is amazing. There is literally no better link in the game, and this is the most common villain link, as you can see here. Wow, there's actually a super type unit that has Big Bad Bosses. Maybe I should make a video on that. That's actually really funny. Interesting. I'll put that one in the back of my mind. But yeah, so there's just infinite options here that have Big Bad Bosses, right? There are so many good units. Every single one of, well, not every single one, but most of the best villain cards in the game have Big Bad Bosses. This is a go-to link. This is a link that you are definitely going to be building your teams around. Super, super important to have this built up. But yeah, the HP restriction is a huge deal, because getting below that 80% HP, while that's not very difficult to do in most events, especially if you're going into challenging content where maximizing, your stats and things like a link skill is going to matter anyway, you will be able to get below 80% HP at some point, but the main point to acknowledge here is the fact that it does you a huge disservice not being able to have it right at the beginning of fights, turn 1. Because the way that the meta of Dokkan has been running for the last couple years now, honestly, has been short-form content that as soon as you jump in, you hit the ground running. It starts out really, really difficult. Like, there are so many fights. I could sit here and name countless Super Battle Road stages, countless Red Zone fights, countless other challenge events that you have a very probable chance to run a top-tier team and get KO'd right away at the very beginning with a super attack. Like, turn 1, you could die very easily. It's so possible, right? So the fact that you would be able to have this active right away, especially because it's also very common for units nowadays to need to build up quite a bit before they're very pungent, and a lot of units do need help turn 1, especially slot 1. Having this Big Bad Bosses link is just going to help you more than you could ever imagine. So this is the absolute only link in the game that I would say is 100% non-negotiable. You need to have this link at level 10. You just need to. So if you are somebody that does not link level and you only you only play casually and you don't grind links or anything like that, then I would encourage you for your daily Master Roshi training stage that has the boosted link levels, or anytime we get any of those other special events that give you additional chance to drop link levels, you should absolutely be building teams of Big Bad Bosses characters. That is what you need to prioritize. Okay, well, I think that is about the end of my rant here. If there are any other links that you think might be decent or you're curious about, go ahead and drop questions in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer any other questions, about links. Obviously, there are quite a few other links in the game that are very viable. Still, there are other links that it's still worth leveling them up. I just wanted to, you know, take this time to point out the absolute best ones in the game that I think you guys should be prioritizing. So thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble here. I hope you guys enjoyed. That is going to do it for this one, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.